What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Total Takedown for UFC Atlanta, where I pick out a couple of totals that I think might interest you from a betting perspective. We already talked about all these fights. We broke it down top to bottom on the Monday show. Check the live tab here on YouTube. If you haven't given that a watch, go check it out, please. But this show, we're looking at an alternative way to make some money. We're looking at overs and unders. So I'm going to run through a couple of these on this card and let you know what I'm thinking. This is kind of slim pickings this week. I'll be honest with you guys. This is a tough card to bet, and the totals are not something that's jumping off the page at me. I'm going to get started here with Cody Durden and Jose Ochoa. So Jose Ochoa is somebody I need to do a little bit more work on. He's young, he's brash, he seems to be relatively tough. He's taking on Cody Durden, back against the wall, fighting in your backyard type of situation here. Mostly an offensive grappler. He's gone to war a couple times in his last couple fights, and frankly, that's bit him in the ass. Seems like the durability has been chipped away a little bit. The cardio, always something I've talked about. He goes so hard early in the fight with the offensive wrestling. Sometimes he doesn't leave a lot of space at the back end of the fight. So with this spot, I really think Cody's going to be in preservation mode. I think Cody's going to be in the get my damn self a win type of mode. Get my hand raised. And what that means is pushing a grappling pace and then not falling apart at the end of the fight. So I actually think the over 2.5 here at minus 130 is the play to make. I expect Cody Durden to go out there and do everything he can to win a decision. He's probably seen a higher level of competition at this point than Jose Ochoa has. This is a big step up in competition for Jose, even though he comes from a good gym, good training partners. As far as fights goes, this is going to be the toughest opponent that he has faced to this point. Wrestling over jiu-jitsu, let's say Cody Durden wins by decision, over 2.5, I think that's the way to play it. Paul Craig and Rodolfo Bellato. We've talked about this one a couple of times with the cancellations, with the rescheduling. So this is one hopefully we get across the finish line this week. But the total's 1.5. Over 1.5 minus 125. Under 1.5 minus 105. They're robbing you a little bit there on that juice. I think this is going to be a one-round fight, you guys. I really do. We know Bellato had some issues with some disease, whatever. I don't think that's going to affect him in any way. But Paul Craig, we know, is very, very chinny. Rodolfo Bellato is going to have a speed advantage. He's going to have a boxing advantage. He's going to have a power advantage. But up at 205, Paul Craig has some extremely notable, relatively fluky wins. But when it's a fluke 5-6 times, is it really a fluke? Like, this guy's offensive capabilities are something that we can't write off. Both guys absolutely capable of being finished. Both guys absolutely capable of finishing. I think this fight's going to be over quick, and I kind of like the under 1.5. Similar situation with Mansur, Abdul-Malik, and Cody Brundage. Mansur is an absolute problem. This kid has got huge power in his hands. He's going to have a massive reach advantage. Cody's only path to victory here is an overhand right bonk or using the wrestling that he's so well known for. He can't control anybody, guys. He can get a takedown or two. He's not keeping a takedown or two. So even if he does shoot in and get a takedown on Mansur, he's not going to be able to consolidate those positions. And frankly, I don't think he's going to be able to close the gap. I don't think he'll ever get inside the range. And once Mansur touches this guy, he's going full fetal position. So under 1.5, minus 185, something like that. It sounds gross. Mansur by knockout, man. This is one that I truly believe Cody's going to get his walking papers this weekend. Next up, Edmund Shabazian and Andre Petrowski. We've got a 1.5 total. Over is minus 145. Under is plus 115. And this is the same situation. I'm going under 1.5. I think it's round one Edmund. I know Andre Petrowski has shown some solid grappling chops. I know he's shown some improvement in his overall striking game, but at the end of the day, he's fragile. He's a wrestler. We've seen him get hurt before in the cage, and Edmund is hell on wheels in round one. He's put up some very tough round ones against very high caliber fighters. Frankly, I don't think Andre Petrowski is that guy. So as long as he doesn't get out of round one, Edmund's going to win this fight. I expect it to be a round one finish. Petrowski obviously has that submission upside as well, so if this thing does hit the ground, unfortunately, it usually stretches into round two if that's the case, but hey, at 1.5, you still have the first 2 minutes and 30 seconds of round two for Andre to go ahead and get you that finish via submission. Both guys can finish. We look under in that situation. Next up, Cody Garbrandt and Hani Barcelos. We've got a 2.5 total here. Over 2.5 is minus 135. Under 2.5 is plus 105. The reason I want to mention this fight is I feel like this is the butthole pucker of the evening. Cody Garbrandt is going to do everything he can to keep Hani away from him. Hani, relatively new, shiny grappling skills that we've all seen on Showcase. Cody is going to have a massive speed advantage here in this spot, and he knows he's not allowed to get touched on the chin. So if he has any kind of success in this fight, it's going to be keeping the space and the distance and the range and making sure Hani can't touch him. If these guys are grappling, we could see some scrambles. We saw Cody just get put on his back and absolutely outed there in that spot in his last fight. So Hani might be able to land a takedown or two. All this glides time right off the clock. I think this is an over 2.5 kind of spot, you guys. Minus 135, Hani to be tough and durable enough to hang in there. Cody to be too quick and athletic and move around, not let Hani touch him in any significant way. I think we see an over, probably a 15-minute decision where everyone's booing by the end of it, but Cody tries to get his hand raised, much like Cody Durden did. I think we're seeing an over 2.5. And finally, the main event. Kamaru Usman takes on Joaquin Buckley. And we've got a 4.5 total on this one. Over 4.5, minus 105. Under 4.5 is minus 125. And I kind of like violence in this one, you guys. I kind of do. So Joaquin Buckley's been on one heck of a run recently. However, we have seen Buckley be hurt. We have seen Buckley be knocked out. He is no stranger to any of that. This is a big step up in competition for him, theoretically, assuming that Usman is still Kamaru Usman. And if Kamaru Usman is any shade of his former self, we've seen this guy hurt people on the feet, and badly. If Buckley can't get the wrestling going over a much more seasoned, much more caliber, much larger human being in there, then he's going to be forced to strike. And while I think Kamaru Usman is old and he's stiff, we know he can hit really, really hard these days. So I expect Joaquin Buckley could get caught. On the flip side of this, I also really think Buckley's just going to be too quick, too fast, too young, too explosive. And when this guy gets his hands going, these old fighters don't know what hit them. He's got nuclear missiles in both of his fists, and he has no problem boxing you up once he gets into range. So I think he'll be too quick for Usman. And even though Usman has put up a real tough showing in his last couple of fights, he's been able to drag it the full 15 minutes. This could be that spot where the floor just falls out on the old man and his knee wraps. So I think the under 4.5, minus 125, that's the pick. That's your total takedown, everybody. Check out Clint's hot props coming to you as well, and we'll see you on Friday for the undefeated post-weigh-in show. Let's roll.